Hey there! It's me, Mr. C. Guess what we're talking about today? It's circles. I know they're not polygons. Okay? They don't have straight sides. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about them. They're an important part of geometry. We're not going to get too in-depth. We're going to learn some important vocabulary words, and then we're going to learn how to make one. So, of course, you're going to ask me, why, Mr. C? Why do we have to know what a circle is? Okay, well, if you know a few little things, you can actually make circles. And circles are useful and important for all sorts of things. Games and sports and construction and there's a few vocabulary words linked with circles where if you understand what they are, you can actually make these things pretty well. And we're going to go over that. And, like I said before, circles are useful. So let's get right into the thick of things. There are 3 important words when we're talking about circles. First important word. Radius. Okay, check out that word right there. Radius. Go ahead and say it with me. Radius. Okay, I'm going to circle the word radius in red, and then I'm going to show you what a radius is in the circle. So, the radius of a circle is the distance from the center point, or from the middle, to any single point on the outside of the circle. Okay? So if you have a ruler in your classroom and you want to measure this distance, go ahead. Depending on the size of your screen, it's going to be different. But the distance from the center of a circle to any point on the outside is the radius. Because it's going to be the same, right? Because a circle is perfectly round. So this distance here is going to be the exact same as this distance here. Okay, so a radius is the measure from the center of the circle to any point along the outside of the circle. Okay, radius. All right, let's see. Let's go on to the next word. We're going to talk about diameter. All right, well, if a radius is halfway through a circle, meaning from the center point to the outside, a diameter, or the diameter of a circle, is the full distance from one side of the circle through the center point to the other side. Okay? Now, passing through the center point is important. You can't measure the diameter over here. Look, if I measure this distance over here, that doesn't count. That's not the diameter. That's like some weird measurement over on the side of the circle. The diameter of a circle always travels through this center point in here. Okay, so just like the radius has to come from the center, well, the diameter has to go all the way through the center. Pay attention to something very important here. Look, the diameter is like 2 radiuses, or radii. I don't know how you say that, but look, this is actually right here, the radius. And then if you keep going, like let's say you're to start on this side out here, go through the middle and all the way to the other side, that's the diameter. So the diameter of a circle is twice the length of the radius. Okay, I'm going to write that right here. Diameter is radius times 2. I'll make sure that you know that's not an X, that's a times symbol. Okay? So the the diameter of a circle is twice the size of the radius. Always. Always. That's important to remember. Okay, and then the final vocabulary word that we're going to talk about, circumference. Whoa, Mr. C, you did like 2 graphics there. Yeah, I did, because I wanted you to look at that word. We're going to dissect that word for a second. Look at this. Circ. Is that word circ? Well, it's how you start the word circle. The circumference of a circle is the distance all the way around the outside. So right now, I am tracing the circumference of the circle. So let's say this were a big circle out on a soccer field. I would have to get a ruler. There's formulas you'll learn later in math, but let's say right now you wanted to find this measurement. I'd have to get a ruler or a string and run it all the way around the outside of the circle. That's the circumference. You circle the outside to find the circumference. Circle for circumference. Okay? So radius, distance from the middle to the end. Diameter, distance from one end through the middle to the other end. Circumference, the distance around the outside. 3 important vocabulary words. You want to see why they might be a little important? we're going to talk about radius and we're going to talk about diameter in a video that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to make a circle, okay? If you know the size of the circle you want and you have a couple of supplies, it's actually not that hard to make a circle. So let's go ahead and check out a new segment that I like to call Getting It Done with Mr. C. I know it's a lame title, but I couldn't think of anything else. So I'm going to show you how to make a circle here. Go ahead and check it out. Hey guys, it's Mr. C broadcasting from my kitchen where I'm going to show you how to make a perfect circle. First, you're going to need a few things. String or twine or something that you can cut to a certain length. A ruler of some sort. I got a tape measure here, but you can probably find a ruler that looks just as good. 2 pencils, pair of scissors, a piece of paper. Alright, this is what you have to do. First, you have to get a diameter or a radius for your circle. So, let's say I want to draw a circle that is 6 inches in diameter. Well, what's the radius? If it's 6 inches in diameter, then it has a 3-inch radius. So, you're going to take your yarn, and you are going to cut a 3-inch length of yarn. So, come on over here, check it out. I'm going to measure it up here. So that we're cutting 3 inches. I'd probably cut just a little bit more because you're going to be taping it to the pencil, so you're going to want some extra string. So you're going to cut just a little bit more than 3 inches of yarn. Then, what you're going to do is take your 2 pencils, and you're going to tape them points down to either side of the string. So just take a little piece of tape. Try to use as little of the string as you can. So just put just like a little nub of the string over the end and tape it to the pencil. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, you're going to try to just tape just a little bit of that string, that stuck to me, onto that pencil. All right, so check it out. Now, I have a string in between 2 pencils. Now, we're going to put it down on the paper. Okay, so I taped my paper down so that the paper won't move, but normally if you have a buddy, you can just have them hold it down. I'm going to take one of the pencils, place it down in the middle of the paper. That's going to be the center of the circle. Then all I'm going to do is drag the other pencil around the outside. Now, if you keep the one pencil in the middle, you can even pick the other one up, because it's going to maintain a 3-inch radius the whole way around. So when you're done, ta-da! You have a perfect circle with a 6-inch diameter and a 3-inch radius. Why don't you try it? Boom! How you like them apples? Yeah, you can do that on any scale. So let's say you were out on your soccer field and you needed to make a circle that was like 20 feet across. Well, think of how you could do it. Okay, if you had a 10-foot piece of rope and a buddy, right? You could make a 20-foot circle in the middle of a field, right? You have your buddy stand in the middle, you stretch the rope all the way out and walk all the way around him, and you've made a circle that's 20 feet in diameter. So you can make circles of any size by using this method. Kind of cool. You just have to know what diameter and radius are. Okay, cool. So let's just talk again quickly about what we learned today. Well, we learned that the words radius, diameter, and circumference all have definitions and all have something to do with a circle. And we also learned an easy way to draw a circle. Okay. There's a, just if you want to, go ahead, back it up, check that video out. I want you to try it yourself. We're going to go ahead and do that in the try it section. All right, this is what I want you to do. I want you to find a ruler and a piece of string or yarn or something, okay? You can get crafty here. You got to have something laying around your house or laying around, your desk or your school, or beg your teacher or your mom to borrow some stuff. Get a ruler, a piece of string and a yarn. I want you to try to draw a circle that's 8 inches in diameter. So I drew one that was 6 inches in diameter. I want you to try to draw one that is 8 inches in diameter. Can you do it? That's the challenge. Okay, so I hope this helped. Remember these 3 very important words about circles because we're going to talk about them again in geometry as we move forward.